Morning, everybody. This is Abisor. I'm just gonna do my propagating upgrade. What you got? Planting my potting um my succulent today because they have already grown into a tiny little baby. So I'm just gonna show you that. But before we go, I'm just gonna put my gloves on because I am actually not going to get my hand super wet. Okay, so a month ago, on the 13th of August, I have propagated my succulent and popped them into these lovely small containers to roots and to give me new babies. And here is one that's already giving me a tiny little bulb. As you can see, there's the lovely, and this one is Purple Delight. So I've got about, let me see, 6, 7, 10, 12 out of 15. That's pretty good. 12 out of 15. So that's one lot that I'm going to plant. I also got a few in here. This lot, now this one's quite fascinating to me because it's quite cute. There is quite a few in one leaf. That's unusual. I don't know what they are called, but that is one that's ready to go. So there's about 2 there. The others didn't do too good, but that's a few that can be planted. There's still some growing, so that one's doing well. That's ready to go. So is this one. This one's actually got 3 shoots in one plant. Okay, so and this is giving me 1. So that's one success that I really like. I still like the variegated one. So I'm going to plant that one into its own. And this one is doing absolutely great as well. Look at that. It's got a few in there. Now, that's one lot. And this one is another, but this one's not doing too good. I must have watered it too much because it was rooting, but then it decided to die. This one is Black Prince. And Black Prince are doing excellent. There we go. It's growing underneath instead of the top. Quite interesting. This one is a flapjack. It's not doing so good. I think maybe because the end of the leaves was not on the ground. This one has a lovely amount of roots, but there's no growth as such. And so is this one. So I can transfer them into their own little pots. So that's another one. And so that was like a month ago. So probably 5 weeks. 5 weeks of rooting. And here is another one as well. Look at that beautiful babies. So some of them are ready to be planted and some are not yet, but that's, I'm going to plant this because there will be too much in the pot here. So some of them needs to be planted. So this one is showing growth. This one right here. Okay, so that's one lot. But I've got abandoned on this one. This one's a little bit heavy to hold. So there's a lot of little ones that's ready to be planted. So I'll get that one going. Now, I did some last night, of course. And here's the other pot that I've got. So this one's definitely ready to go. I've yet to find all the names, all these succulents. I managed to get this one from a friend of mine. and I have bought some, most of them I bought. That one's giving me some shoot, and this one's definitely ready to go. Not beautiful. So that will be one. And so is this one. I want to plant it straight away into their own pot. So there we go. So that's one. Stay with me. I'm going to say a few more that I have planted last night. Okay, so this one, guys, our growth of 2 months. See, when I propagated the others, this one was already shooting. So that's one of the plant that I planted last night. Okay, so that's a lovely plant. Just gonna pop it somewhere else again. Be right back in a few minutes. Just one sec. All right, let's begin putting my beautiful succulent into their own little pot. Just put on my gloves. Now I have mixed my potting mix already, which is pretty much what I have around the house. I don't have a specific potting mix, but I'm going to use this tiny little pot. It will be okay for now because they will this potting mix that I have, there's quite a fair bit of different types of um, medium already. So there's cocoa hash, some rocks, I've got perlites, and there's lots of sand in there because succulent likes sand. So this is my general potting mix. So every time I do potting for something, I just added something else to suit the actual plant. So I have some sand over here just to put it on the top of the pot. Now I have mixed a little bit of sand in here. So yeah, so there's perlite, there's charcoal, there's garden bark, orchid mix all in here for great aeration. I even got some charcoal as well. So, you know, your potting mix is well mixed and aeration. So I've got my sandy bit in here. So what I'm going to do is just fill up my pot with my mixed, and then I'm just going to shove a little bit of sand on top because I've already got sand in there. already got mixed. And then I'm just gonna pop my tiny babies into their own planter. That one didn't do too good. Put that aside. Oh no, I did. This is the plant that obviously come out of that particular leaf. Okay, so there you go, guys. Easy peasy. So when this actual planter becomes too small for this particular plants, um, you transplant obviously the plant somewhere else to give it a bigger space. So that's one done. Fill up the soil again. Like I said, my soil is pretty mixed with a lot of things, so the aeration is pretty good. And just top it up with sand on the top. And we'll do this one. It's the next baby to plant. You can seal that. There you go, lovely. So let's pop that on the top. Let's dig a little hole first so the roots can go in. And just hang it on the top. Don't put it right in. Let the roots dig itself into the actual soil and sand. And of course, you water it later on. Okay, so my little spot. So that's two done. Just gonna put that over here for you guys to see. I might just pop this one somewhere else so I have some room. Hopefully they're not clunking on me. Okay, so that's done. Try to do as much. I didn't do it for you. Because this is obviously temporary pot, because you would want to change it into a bigger pot once they've grown. So you don't have to worry about too much of the bottom being not so sandy. This one has a twin. Look at that. It's two in one. So let's just pop a little hole for the roots to dangle. Like so. And this is going to be absolutely beautiful plant. This is called Purple Delight. And they do have this beautiful shape when they're grown. So I love it. I'm actually quite happy that I got some growing, and they're quite good. I mean, oops a daisy. There you go, guys. So that's one. And then the next one, I'll do as much as I can today. I'm going to do this 2 hours because I've got to go and pick up my daughter at work. So 2 hours of live streaming while I'm propagating. So basically, kind of just taking a video. And these ones got a lot of lovely, healthy roots. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Check that one out. We might put a little bit more soil there. Okay. And that one's got a couple of growths. So if I leave it on this, they have their own planting spot. I wouldn't have to disturb them so much later on, because then I will just take the whole pot and transfer them without disturbing the roots. So guys, there we go. It's beautiful, beautiful succulent. That's my number 4. My propagation worked, so I'm quite happy with that, because that was actually my very first propagation with these particular plants. Like I said, I'm still a beginner, so I'm learning from a lot of people. They're on upload, and then I'll just, add my own little touch. Again, this one is quite healthy. They look lovely, and abundance of roots. Even the actual leaf is still quite strong. It's still giving the plant food from its body. So even if it's not planted, it's going to be okay. It's going to live. So it's a strong, it's a good, strong growing plant. Definitely give you a lot of babies if you have one. So I've only had a few mother plants, one very good one. So I've taken the roots, I've taken the old leaves from the bottom, and this is what I've got. So that's one. Well, I really don't know how much to sell this one day, because I don't know what they're really worth that much, because I bought it in the pack and I'm not sure how. But we'll figure out when I come to that moment. At this stage, I'm just happy that they have come alive on me, because obviously I wasn't even sure if it's going to work, because I've never done it before. But here it is, it's working. So my propagation has been a success, and now I am reaping the benefit by planting my new babies, like I said I was going to do. And housing them into their very own potting spot. So guys, lovely healthy babies, which will continue to grow nicely, and this will help them grow more without being disturbed. Because once, it does take a little while for the roots to establish. So while they're growing in their very own pot, be nice and healthy. And others are not ready to be potted, but that's okay, because I'm going to take them out before it gets too much. So I'll just sprinkle some sand over and take a few of that. There we go, lovely. I'm just going to do a little bit of hole in there to give the roots to dangle underground. So there we go, and then just fill it up with soil each side. Tap it a little bit. Don't bury the whole leaves. There you go, there's one. This section is a lot of perlite and a lot of bark. So I kind of know roughly where my stuff are. So when I'm planting a particular plant, depends on the plants, I give them more of what they should be having. I'm going to put that over here. It's about to go down the ground. That's another nice and healthy one, except there's not much roots in it. See? But that should be all right because the actual leaves is still quite strong. So I'm just going to dig a little hole, give it room for the roots to grow. And in this time, I won't be disturbing it once it's rooting. There we go. Lovely. So out of one plant, I managed to get 12 growth. So that's, that's pretty good. So I'm going to have 12 plants growing beautifully on its own. And then I'll be able to share with other people who would like this particular plant. Excellent plants, very easy to grow. Well, from my experience now, you can definitely easily propagate it and have more. I mean, like anything else in life, you gotta wait, be patient, and just do it until you get what you want in return. So that's one. One more. I've got a few more to go. So what have we got now? 5, 6, 8, 10. I've got 10. I could do with probably 3 more. There's another one. Nice and healthy. I won't bury it too much because I don't want the actual thing to rot. Now I have one here that the actual leaf has died. I think I might have given it too much water, that it got rotten, but it did have tiny little growth, which I will plant because I know it will still live, so it will be fine. There we go. Let's see if that little baby will come through for us, see? There. Place it in that little spot there. Might put it in the middle, so if it does grow, it'll give a nice little round space. One tiny little baby in that one. Now I have 3 more, which one doesn't have, one has a little bit of a growth. There you go. You see that? I might just pop this one into this baby one and transfer it later if it does head off. I mean, there's no reason why it shouldn't, but just for now, I'm going to just place that one in there. Might just cover it a little bit, but make sure the actual growth is not covered. There you go. You see that? Okay, so there we go. Now I can just put this aside and redo it later on. So I've got 2 that didn't come through. That's pretty good. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hang on. 5. There's 12. There's 12 in there. It's 13, 14, 15. There's 15. And I've got 2 left. So I'm going to just pop these in, pop it in somewhere else. Just to keep for later on. Okay. Now this is my leftover thing that I use for propagating. So I'm just going to get rid of that soil because I have watered my plants yesterday, so they are quite wet, as you can see. So I just use an old tray from, you know, when you go shopping and you get this tray from your meat, either a mince meat, this is probably a mince meat, or any meat, and I use it to fill up with soil, mixed soil, and that's what I do my propagation, and it seems to work. It doesn't have any holes in the bottom, which probably I should have had holes, but I just noticed that they dry too quickly, and I don't like it to dry too quickly. Means you often water it. So anyway, so there's my propagation of my succulents. So now I'm going to have to find a spot where this is going to stay and grow further. So windowsill is good. I'm just going to pop them in there. Bear with me. So I have more room of my other. So I'll take a video later on and show you guys where I pop up my tiny babies. Making room to do more of my other succulents. Get rid of the weird stuff. There we go. Now we're ready to go for the next bus, the next lot. So, like I told you before, my soil is actually quite sandy on this section. This is where I put my sand, my mixing for my sand, for my succulent. As you can see, it's quite sandy. Now, let's do a few. Now, I'm going to pick a few here. Okay, so that's one. What I might do is to make it grow close, easier for you guys to see, is I'm going to put a box there. I'm just going to do a little bit of innovation. So I don't have to go all the way down and so far away for you guys to see. So I'm going to place a box, a container there, so I can do my potting, like so. I have to keep on bringing it to the camera. I'm just gonna put a few bit of soil and then find some lovely plants, which succulent that I'm going to do. There we go, it's got 5 there. Now let's pick this big one. I'm going to paste this one in there. Gonna do it there before they actually grow its very own shoot, because the roots is being exposed, so I'm just gonna plant that instead. Blackjack is not going too good yet, but this one is, see? So I'm just gonna do that in here. This potting mix is very mixed with sandy soil, so it will be perfect. No problem in the growth. So having that there, it will just grow with that. I know it will grow because it's already got roots, so I'll just plant it there. Just covering the roots, but still be able to come through the actual new baby growth. That one's not doing so good, but it has got showing a tiny little root, so I'm just going to put it in its own plant. Huh? I've still got my hot chocolate. Thank you, darling. But I'd love you to do what I asked you if that's possible. But it's only not much. So anyway, it's just my daughter asking if I wanted a drink. It's lovely of her. But I already got hot chocolate because Michaela made me hot chocolate. So that's fine. I'm gonna put that away. I'll be watering them soon. Okay, now I'm gonna grab a few here. Grab my gloves because it's really hard to pick up with gloves. I'm just gonna grab a few that's ready to be planted from my succulent spot. I may have to oops. Okay, so I'm gonna put these away so I've got some room for the other one. I don't even need 2 gloves really. I only need 1 glove. Okay. This is showing growth, so we will do this. Shiny little spot there. Place it right so. And just cover it slightly with some soil and sand. Totally mix my actual mix, so it's not just sand, but there's a lot of other things. Still pretty good. They'll grow. And of course, I will be moving them to a different planter once they're overgrown this tiny little pot. So I'm not too fussed about super sandy soil at this stage. But my mix is very very good. It's quite aerated, like it's not going to, the water's not going to be stuck in there. And the other thing that I wanted to do today is planting my Monstera Borsiginia. One is ready, and also my Thai constellation. So I'll be doing another live streaming after I pick up my other girl from work. And while this is establishing its roots, I'm going to put it in their own planter so I don't have to disturb their roots later on once they've grown to a good size, like an adult size. Okay. I really should put my gloves on, it's quicker. Okay. Do not forget about my drink. Okay. Now this one, guys, is called Black Prince. I mean, I don't know the plant's name, but this particular one is called Black Prince, and the one I did earlier was Purple Delight. Okay, so that was I've got two Black Prince. So I'm just going to place them back in here somewhere. Let's find a spot for this one as well. Ouch, daisy. Sorry about that. I kind of knocked my the table. See if it's more showing. Okay. Need more tiny little pots, which I have. And there's under here. Now this one's got a lot of tiny little. Keep some. Some more. Let's get a few more. Too big. But I do have these, which I could use with my other one. This one. Okay, now. Now guys, another one. Another Black Prince. And this one here is Purple Delight. So, you see that? It's going to be beautiful. you go. Lovely. I really should have a lot more room to put my stuff. Oh yes, I've got too much planned already. It's going a bit crazy. So pop them in this box. Okay, of course. I have to find a spot somewhere on the top to grow them. Actually, that's a good idea. Let's just do that to keep all the one that's the same. And this is another black prince. You can hear in the background, guys, is my water, my fish, and also my brine shrimp hatching to feed my baby fighting fish. I've got 4 lots of success breeding, so that's quite good. I have at least 100 babies. And that's from a 2 male and female. And now I've got 100 babies. So 4 lots, not 2, but 4 lots. Okay. So from 3 males breeding, 2 have mated twice and one's the 2, just 1 each. So there's that one. Black prints in that section. I mean, some of them will probably get a bit too early repotting. But I'm here now, might as well. And plus, once the actual leaves are dying, like this one, you want to pot it into soil so the actual pot, the actual plants can start getting nutrient from the soil, not from the mother leaf. So there. Let's go in here. So this one will start growing its roots and get some nutrients. So I'm going to mix. Ay, ay, ay. I think I just killed that one. Oops, daisy. Too much love. Too much love, too much attention. Wrecking it instead. Not good, not good. Okay. Let's get some more plants to pot. Get away. Love my gloves because it's hard to do. This one. This one's doing really nice. Look at that. Tiny little one. Lovely to see. There's one there. And I just wonder if I should do 2 in 1 pot. I'm going to run out of pot soon. But I don't want it too crowded in the pot either when they're growing. And the whole idea was not to disturb them. But I am now. Okay, I will run out of pot. That one's growing at the back. It's interesting, isn't it? So this particular one is doing really nice. Most of my succulent propagation are rooting, so I'm happy with that. We're actually quite good. They all got roots. Mostly, at least 90%, maybe more. That one. I think all of them is doing well, so I might just transfer all of them in a pot of the very own. So I'm going to keep all the same one. Even this tiny little one. So, success. Purple Delight's doing good. Definitely doing excellent. Happy with that result. Okay, so let's see if I can use this tiny little pot for now. Because I will run out of pots. I'm going to replant every one of them. So what I might just do, save some room. I'll do this. Because they can grow into this particular planter. So I might just do 3 types in one. So I could sell it the way it is, 3 in 1. Take my gloves off. It's so hard with the gloves on. But it's nice with the gloves on because you don't want to dirty your hands. Well, that is gardening, so you will have to dirty your hands. So 1, 2, 3. 3 types of plants in one planter. I think that's a good idea. This way they can still grow for about 3 months before you can transplant it to a different pot. And it's not just sand, it's got soil, it's got bark, it's got perlite, it's got everything. So I might do that, okay? 3 in 1. Okay. I'll have to buy some more sand today since all my babies are growing out. Make sure I do 3 of different types. So that's how I'm going to sell it one day when they are established. 3 different ones, make sure. Let's see. I think that's the same. I need purple delight. There we go. Now these succulents are not rare succulents, they're just normal succulents, so they're not going to be worth a lot of money, but it's still something nice to have. I'm going to go to Bunnings today and get some more perlite and some sand to mix more of my soil, because obviously succulent likes sandy soil. Those are the gloves. Okay, now. This one's nicely established. And we'll add this one into here. I still got the mother plant of this, and it's still quite big. I do like this particular plant. I just have this soft spot for this velvet feel as well. So I might go and propagate that more. Now I want another purple delight. Beautiful. Because they're not so big yet, I'll just pop them up into this planter with a bit more soil or sand. Get rid of those thick, chunky bark. Now, I want purple lights. I don't know the purple light. I'll just do something else. Doesn't have to be purple light. Guys, that one's very nicely there, but I just disturbed it, of course. Okay. So, just poke a knife through my purple light. The one that did not give me roots yet. But I'm not going to throw that out because it's still fine. This will still give me some babies. There you go, another one done. this away. Okay. Alright, more room for my succulents. So my Milo's getting cold. Let's just pop this one up there because I need to grab some soil. The reason I don't want to touch the soil is because there's lots of ingredients in there. It could be something that irritates my skin. You know, like there's sand, there's perlite, there's garden bark, orchid mix, there's egg shells that I have crushed into it. I also put a little bit of blood and bone for fertilization. So you can see the sandy soil in this section. That's like where I put my sand. So I know where it is. When I do my potting, my succulents, I know exactly where it is. So let's build up these pots. I like the idea of having 3 in 1. Well, they're not so big yet, so they can be in this pot. Once they're, you know, a little bit bigger, I can transfer it to a little bit bigger pots if they get overcrowded in their spots. So I was going to do 3 in 1, but I'm kind of running out of room, so I think this way is good. And I'm just going to make sure that I don't actually cover, you know what, the young shoots, so it can get the sun. At the same time, cover the roots with soil. So there you go. Let's just get rid of sun. There's a bit too much there. Just gonna push it in a little bit. Better not play too much with it because I'll stab the young growth and kill it. It would be nice if this glove is tighter on me. So there's one. You'll do it. It's alright, I had planned of keeping it 3 in 1, but now I'm decided to just do this instead. And I will just repot them later on when they're established a little bit bigger. Just they're a bit too young. But since I have disturbed the whole potting section, I might as well replant this into a little bit better soil. still need a little bit more time. Some of them still need a bit of time in the propagating pot. That one is growing backwards, so I'll prevent that one backward. Interesting. Obviously, certain plants want to grow certain ways. I'll have one on this side. Oops, I'm disturbing it a lot. I'm doing a very good job today, though. That way, when they start growing, they'll have a better grip to the soil because it's a little bit more nutrient in this soil than the one I did propagate with. So I'm going to wait another month before I replant this one. Because they need a little bit more growing. Oh, I almost lost that pot. Yes, this one needs a little bit more growing, so let's put it back into a smaller propagation pot with a little bit more soil. So if it does grow, it will grab onto the soil much better. Almost lost that pot. Spit out. I'm going to add a little bit more in here because it can do with a few more plants. So I'll save some space. Not actually, you know, I mean, it was better than before. Before was a little bit more crowded, but this time at least it can grow a bit more. So just sprinkle some soil on the top. It'll be fine. Try to open up the section where it's growing the new baby plant. Okay. It's growing underneath. Let's just do that. Okay, so that is done. Pour that in there so I can reuse that for something else. Put my gloves on. That's quite wet. Let's mix my stuff in it. It will just disintegrate. So not to worry too much. It's super wet because I just watered them yesterday. That's why. So I'm just going to leave that section for another plant. My friend is doing this section. Alright. This one is not rooting. It's because it's not being dug on the ground. So I'm just going to do that now. Just give it a bit of push. Hopefully that will establish for me. Okay. I'm just going to let this other one grow a little bit further. They are alive, but just not rooting well. Just gonna add a few. I don't know if it'd be good to have it on. Okay guys, I have actually decided along the way to have potted, obviously still propagating it because it's still quite, I mean they started roots but they're not well established as others, so I will be repotting it later on when they actually become a lot more bigger. So let's just put some more in here. And I need to cover the actual, interesting, I'll just place that in there. Yeah. They are going to grow because they have got tiny little roots. So I'm just going to place them again back into the planter. Because they will still give me something there. They're not dead, but they're not ready to have their own pot either. And that's not going to grow because there's no rooting. Let's just, some of these one here are ready to go in a big pot, but others are not. So, there we go. So I'm just going to leave them a little bit more established in here. Cover them with a bit more sand and soil. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm almost finished. Oh well, never mind. Start again. So much for that, huh? Nothing is accident free, I can tell you. That should be here, there's a bit of room there. Not to worry, nothing is broken. So propagating is quite simple, but obviously it's the plant, it's the looking after it at the same time is what the care of it. So you've got to water it, but don't oversoak it. But at this stage, it's doing just fine, but it does take a little while to grow. I mean, this is the rooted in 1 month. So it's not like they're just, come out. It's been at least 5 weeks since I put it in. Now this one I'm going to have its own planter because that is quite interesting really. It's ready to go. So let's put that into here. 2 green ones. And cover that. So yeah, I've got some big rocks in here. Yeah, because this is not going to root for ages. It's going to be a little while before it can actually give us some roots. So I'm going to stay in this particular spot for a little while. So let's do that there, like so. Just fill up the mother leaf with soil. And let that lovely young come out. And then the soil and the sand around it so it can establish its own roots. I am still repotting my succulent.
So I told Annabelle that I might be quitting Roblox, right? And she says, "Oh, but we will still be playing on weekends." I'm like, "Oh yeah, if you want me to." And she's like, "Yeah, I always want to be with you."
Oh, so beautiful.
And then she's like, "Look at all the stuff I got. I got new stuff." I'm like, "Yeah."
That's beautiful. That.
Yes, I'm gonna give her my. And she said, "Oh my God, you have all my tree plantings."
Well, you take care. You keep in touch with your darling sister. Yeah, what you need to do.
She's like the only one I talk to. That's
Well, you've got 3 sisters. Yes, of course you should be. Okay, so another one. I have 2 of that particular plant. Quite interesting, really, because the other plants wouldn't grow like that, but that one is. So I'm going to just place the leaf underneath and let the young one come through. So guys, I got this planter that's still yet to establish. There you go. I have to go and pick up my lovely daughter. So this is going to end soon. And yeah, so this is my already rooted but not yet established. I'm going to put it back in the pot to root. Hopefully, I can without pulling it out. Okay, then I have the others that are fully the small pots here. I can do the rest of the other pots. Now I'm gonna need something to stand on, a flat box. So I will need this box here. So you've got charcoal. This is the charcoal that I used to mix into my pot. And these, I was going to break them and make into a pot, which I haven't got the chance to do it yet. And I even thinking of growing a mushroom for experiment. I mean, I've never done it before. And I will be repotting my half-leaf philodendron. I want to do a climber, so that will be later on. And I have another one right there. So I'm going to have 2 in one. And I also got some steak to wrap my, this is actually a bougainvillea, just to give it a bit more steak, but with sphagnum moss. So I'll be doing that. And I used propagating sand to mix into my soil. So that's the sand that I use, which I'm going to go and get some more because I've run out of them. And then, of course, I'm going to place my other plant in this box so I can pop it on the top. Okay, so let's see what time now, because I have to go and pick up my darling daughter. So guys, thanks for watching. That was my propagating my succulent. So I shall be back to do some more propagating or some more planting. This time is going to be bits and pieces, because I intend to get this one done. Okay, and I also got to divide my Swiss cheese. This is monkey mask, monstera. Now there's 2 growth in one, so I'm going to propagate it. There's actually 3 in here, so I'm going to take this bigger one and leave the little one in there. So I'm going to divide that, so I have more. And I also got another one. I'll show you. There we go. So I have a few of these, which I will propagate later on, and divide into 2 plants. So I can also share with people what I have, and then I can continue buying the other plants that I don't have. Alright, so thanks guys. This is the end of my live streaming for propagating, repotting my succulents. Now, of course, I still haven't finished all of them yet. I've still got a few, but I'll come back later on. Just gonna go and get some more sand and perlite. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time.